This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. We have talked with her before, many different metaphysical type things we've shared. She is a psychic, a medium. Today, we're going to go a little bit different and talk about this thing called black magic and potentially voodoo. Does it really exist? Is it being used in harmful ways? I don't have answers. She does. Stacy, the psychic, is back with us on the program. How are you doing today?
Hey, how are you doing?
Curious.
Most people are.
You know, voodoo, since we were kids, we always had, that picture of somebody using a doll and putting pins in it and hope it is felt by the person that the doll represents.
Not a good thing to do.
Okay. Then why don't we just start there? What is voodoo and is it exactly what we're talking about here?
Well, for starters, voodoo is a religion, obviously. It's been known, but some of the practices on the darker side can be used for nefarious reasons. And yes, there is voodoo dolls. And yes, people of the darker side practicing it. Unfortunately, we're at an all-time high for that sort of thing. And not to denounce people that use, especially like people that are practicing witches who use healing modalities, and on the upright stones healing, they're healers. Voodoo is a religion on the upright, but also on the dark side of it is using it to destroy people's lives. And everything is energy. And when we talk about Albert Einstein, Tesla, those people, they knew about this. Everything is energy, and you can manipulate energy, and you can use it for, unfortunately, nefarious means to harm people. And you can do it at a distance. You have too many people that they get away with it because they're not up close and personal. Nobody's using a gun on you, but energetically, there's electronic harassment that's been at an all-time high. That's been used, but voodoo is, yes, you can use it for nefarious reasons, but it is on the upright. It is a religion, as we know it, but it can be used for darker means and others, but dark magic, we call it, black magic, voodoo. There's energy harvesting, there's death magic, there's necromancy. So this can be used, and there are people that are being paid to do this, and people that use this for nefarious means. And unfortunately, we've had people of certain intelligence agencies that have perfected this a long time ago, in the 1940s.
I've often heard what you put out there to potentially or attempt to harm somebody else can come right back at you.
Yes, absolutely. That is true. It's called karma. We all think that we're based on universal laws, ultimately, spiritual laws. And what you put back out there, yes, it's called karma, but negative karma. There's also good karma.
Yep.
And if you're in the upright, and I know that me personally, yes, my name has been run through the mud on certain times. And if you're on the upright, trying to do the right thing and going after things like I do, yes, you're going to have people that are not too happy with you. And sometimes not really people, the individuals who would do this sort of thing. You can't be human and do these sorts of things and to harm people, and especially people that are on the upright trying to do the right thing. And those are the people that get attacked mostly, or other people, and then there's unintentional black magic, people that are threatened or jealous or envious. And they say a lot of negative things about someone, and that is sometimes unintentional black magic. But there are a variety of ways in which it's used, and they perfect it more. And then also now with technology, electronic harassment has been utilized quite frequently. And
Well, let's go a little bit deeper. You mentioned black magic. How do you define that?
for me, black magic is the use of the manipulation of energy to promote negative, harmful effects on somebody.
Mm,
There's incantations that people use. There's obviously, yes, voodoo dolls are used. Spell work is what they call it, using incantations, certain objects they use. They can also take items from you, use your hair, use items of yours to do negative incantations. They also invoke what we call more darker spirit energy, which referred to, and I, once again, I'm not religious, but this is highly spiritual, and I have seen it in action. I have felt it. Demonic, darker energy that I've literally seen on people and through people. And no, I don't do any drugs, rarely drink. And I have seen this. And
wow.
it's not a pretty sight, but they invoke it, they practice it. Hitler is, and this has been in history books, he and the SS troops, and unfortunately, it is quite well documented that he was schizophrenic, but that he practiced every day with the SS troops of satanic dark magic
Mm.
and invoking that. And of course, 6 million Jews later, and look what the direct result of this, and been incorporating all of the above. But I know there are people that say, well, that's just a religion. No, you're invoking harmful energy. And if you energy does darker energy exist, there is a spiritual realm that exists. I have seen it. I've seen it when I work with energy to cross people over. I've seen it happen where people who are not of the light side but of the dark, yeah.
Can you give an example? And then, it can be broad, totally confidential of black magic. What somebody may have done and the outcome it produced.
Meaning to me or to others?
That's your choice.
Well, why don't we go ahead and say me and a broad spectrum here. People that are upright, they have great intentions. People sometimes that are here have a calling on their life, and I know definitely me, that go after things, that are in the upright, trying to do the right thing, trying to always constantly elevate their life and energetically. Um, the outcome of that is that when you're hitting somebody who's in the upright, who is a phenomenal person, who is spiritually, well tapped and connected, is that it goes back to the sender, what we call return to sender. I do not practice anything dark. I know I'd be afraid to see what's out there, but never will I. I've protected people, I've protected myself and send it back, but that's it. But it reverberates back to the sender. So whatever they wish upon you, say they wish upon death, death will either happen to them or someone close to them. If they
Mm.
wish upon poverty, poverty will actually go back to them, hit them, or hit people around them. If they wish, accidents, it will happen to them,
Mm.
not to the person who's here to do their upright. And if they've never done anything to you, it's, but it goes back, it reverberates back. So everything is energy and cause and effect. butterfly effect. If it's good, it can really resonate and ripple effect. But if it's bad, it will go back to the person who, and you can have somebody who uses somebody else to professionally cast spells, do whatever, but it will go back to both individuals, the person that hired it to the person who's, doing it. And it
So,
does.
how do you protect yourself? For example, let's say um, somebody doesn't like you and they throw negative energy your way, be it black magic, voodoo, whatever it is. Is there something that we can do to put up a force field to prevent
Yes,
the effects of that?
there are things you can say. And, it doesn't necessarily mean there are people that are not very religious, and I'm not, but it's very spiritual. I do invoke certain angel energy around me. I use sage, polyosantus. I use a lot of protection symbols. Yes, I use salt. I do a variety of things. And I tell people as far as what they can do. I also put it out there energetically. You invoke spirit or helpers or ancestors to protect the person that needs it.
Mm.
And you
And
block it. It literally provides. And if this person does not, no one deserves this, does not, it will reverberate back. It will shield. It puts up an invisible shield of protection.
mm, um, I've heard that you can do as simply as when you're taking a shower, set the
That's right.
intention. It's
Yes,
it's the intention. It's not
water.
about it's just water. What's that going to do? You say, whatever mantras, whatever you need to, that something to the effect of I am cleansing myself of any negative energy, that
Yes.
kind of thing while you take the shower, and that can get the job done.
Spiritual baths I take quite frequently. I have to. It cleans out, and salt, pink Himalayas sea salt is a phenomenal thing to have. And some people will use peroxide, other things in their baths. There's a multitude of things you can use. And also, literally, your home. You can sage it, you can polyscent it, you can use vinegar for the floors to clean your house with throughout. Um, Variety of things to literally saying I am protecting my space, my body, your furry family as well. And like I said, there's a multitude of things that unfortunately have been out there, and it's kind of it's a rather disconcerting, sad testament to how far people will go to
Mm,
do certain things, and it's unfortunate. I always try to remind myself of the people out there that are doing the right thing and are here as protectors, and sometimes behind the scenes when you're not aware of it. But there's definitely the spiritual realm is here, and I am here to tell you I had an accident in 2019 that I went down an embankment, and I don't know if I've talked about this before
nope.
but I had a major accident in 2019, July 3rd, 2019. And I knew that day was I could feel energy on me that was not good. And I thought, uh-oh, this doesn't feel good, feel right. Little did I know it was intense black death magic. And I got in my car, there was no speed involved, no alcohol, no drug, no nothing. And there wouldn't have been anyways. I wouldn't have gotten in my car. Um, no drugs. I don't do those. And I literally got in my car. I was leaving Lincoln to go back to Omaha, and when I still lived in Omaha, and literally I hit some gravel, and it was very steep embankment, and I literally hit it, and the way they explain it was overcorrective. I know what happened. I hit it. I went down the embankment. The car flipped. 2.5 times. And, I don't remember quite, technically I should have died. I did have my seatbelt on me, but it landed upright. The windows blew out. The car was dented in, the tires went. And this is where, we talked about human organ trafficking, conveniently behind me that day. And I thought about this after the fact, that conveniently I had somebody running up to me going, "Oh, you should have been dead." I'm going, "Yeah, thanks. No, I'm still here." And he said, "Well, I'm a volunteer EMT." And I'm going, "No, there's two of us." And I don't know if this gentleman was with him or I believe there was somebody directly behind him. And I thought, well, that's weird. How would you, navigate that? And I'm thinking, no, this was intentional.
Okay. Are you saying that we talked about organ trafficking before and how there are no real guidelines for this? Only a few states have any real laws in place.
Yes.
Are you suggesting that this might have been a setup?
Yes, absolutely. I know it was. I absolutely know it was. And unfortunately, the
Wow.
people around and I've been hard at it going after things, and unfortunately people around me, but no, it was intentional. And
Wow.
it was meant to. I had like 6 people say, "Well, you should be dead." And then I said, "I don't need an ambulance." And I'm not saying to the people that were taking me back, "Hey, I'm psych." I know I'm not. I knew I was not. And speaking of higher energy, spiritual energy, I felt it extremely strongly in the car. Even though I really wasn't cognitive, I was shaking, I was shook up, obviously. And I was in shock. And I had a piece of glass sticking out of my left hand. That was it.
We're talking about some pretty heavy stuff here today.
Unfortunately, yes.
But you know what? It's spreading awareness. You, psychic medium, you are plugged into the metaphysical world, if you will.
Yes.
Does this scare you, this stuff? The black magic, the voodoo, and all of it?
It scares me in that people are saying, "How do you legislate this?" And it's like, well, we know this comes from, and you hear about this, cults, covens, negative Freemasons, and secret societies. They do exist, unfortunately. And it's unfortunately because ultimately, at the end of the day, that this will not work. This will come back. This energy has a way of making its way back. It may not be immediate, but it does. And sooner or later, the light always shines on what's been done in the dark.
Well, somebody told me when I was going through some challenges about 5 years ago, a little less than that. It was so true. And when you're going through things, you don't see it, you don't believe it, you don't realize it, you don't accept it. They said it will all be revealed. It will all be revealed. And they were right.
It always has a way of, and the light always trumps the darkness. No pun intended on that one. But it always trumps the darkness. It always has a way of exposing. And I think this is what at an all-time high in the last 10 years, we've seen a lot of this being exposed. When people are wanting to step into their callings and their life purposes and their authenticity, they're saying enough is enough. Enough is enough. And it requires all, the 3D, and it's be careful of what you do to somebody energetically, spiritually, in the 3D. You never know how high they rank in the spiritual realm. That is true.
That's kind of scary to think.
It is on some level, but on the same token, it's, we have to appreciate, have gratitude for the present. And let me tell you, last week it's been hard for me, but I look at it going, no, there are some good people. There are some good things, and I have things to be grateful for. And I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to head that route. I choose to. And in some way, that's choosing yourself, choosing to love yourself. And when you love yourself,
Ah,
the
yes.
rest falls into place.
That's the game changer, and it's a cliche. We hear it all the time. You got to love yourself before you can properly love others, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Um, it's the truth.
It is. Absolutely.
And is it easy? No. Does it take a
No.
lot of work, soul searching? Can I share something with you?
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
you know, doing the work on myself over the years, I was at the gym. This is like a year ago, and I'll put on different songs, and just the playlist came up, and it was "Touch Me" by The Doors. I'm not like a big, super fan, but it's a great song. And I always thought, what a wonderful song for somebody else. I can't sing. Lyrics go, as you know, well, I'm gonna love you to the star, till the stars
Mhm.
fall from the sky. I'm gonna love you for
Yeah.
you and I. And I'm sitting there, and I had this epiphany that that song was from me to me,
Yes.
because I finally had that realization. Oh, okay, I'm good with myself now. Yeah,
You
I am a
also
good,
had some ancestors playing there too.
I don't doubt that. It was it was just I'm in the middle of a gym, like on the floor, and I'm like, oh, all right. Well, this finally came clear. Um, yeah, that was my moment. It's like, all right, I accept myself. I'm good with myself. Um, I love myself. We'll go with that. No, most people, and I couldn't do it until I did the work. Can't even look in the mirror and say, I love you.
Right.
Sometimes it brings people to tears that they can't even do that for many
Yeah.
different reasons. No judgment,
Yeah.
just many different reasons. Life in general.
Well, life's always a work in progress. You have to also give yourself a little bit of latitude for those who are trying to work on oneself and trying to not only love themselves but others around them. You have to give yourself a little pat on the back and appreciation, and
Mm.
um, when no one else will. And sometimes, so that's why I also feel part of my presence here is to help lift people up. There's so many people, and my whole life has been about that, of people, disregarding you, and the gaslighting term I know has been heavily, but that I think certain people around me coined the term, but it's definitely, a projection. And it's all about people that are not healed, that have ulterior motives, and unfortunately, money. And that will be the downfall of a lot of people and things yet to come.
Our final question, we're out of time. Got to ask this. You just said it. Money ruins relationships, destroys people, negativity, all of that.
But
Should we?
no, it is.
It's horrible, but it's a necessity. Um,
It's
should you
what you
just?
do with the money energetically. It's who has it in their hands. It's what you do with it energetically. It's not,
Hmm.
it's not that what money is evil, it's how it's used and who uses it and the intentions
Is it
behind it.
also how you got the money?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the bottom line here, all of this, it's all about energy. Stacy, thank
Yeah.
you for the insight. Kind
And
of
thank you.
kind of creepy kind of stuff, but
Yes, it is.
reality that
I
energy is
appreciate,
everywhere. Yeah.
speaking of gratitude, I appreciate you and the podcast. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
likewise, and thanks for spreading some awareness. And sage, salapanto, and a shower. That's on the schedule. Uh, thanks. Be well. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals. This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.